Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Thursday night. I'm a minute or two late. I don't know what I was doing, sitting at my desk, looking at something on the computer, and didn't realize that it was already 6:30. So here I am. It's a mystery challenge night. So every other Thursday night, I jump on with a mystery challenge. And I posted somewhere, I have it, I printed it out. I posted a mystery challenge or some clues for you earlier today. So I challenged you to make a card with watercoloring, plants or flowers, and blackberry bliss. Kind of random things. I have something in mind. I'm going to use the Tropical Leaf Bundle, which is part of the new the March online exclusives that are available in my online store. I love this bundle. I'm having so much fun playing with these leaves. So hey Nancy, hey Joey. So I thought I'd try some watercoloring with it. I love to watercolor. I'm going to do kind of that what I call abstract watercoloring, where I'm going to spritz the I'm going to do it a couple of ways. I'm going to try a couple of ways. I'm either going to spritz the paper first and then stamp on it, or I'm going to spritz ink up the stamp and spritz on it, and then I'm going to put the detail on it and punch it out. We'll see how it goes. That's my idea. So that's my plant, is the leaf. And then, of course, I'm going to add some blackberry bliss to it. So let's switch over and see how it goes. All right, this is the Tropical Leaf Bundle. It's a punch bundle, so of course I'm all over punch bundles. I love to be able to punch things out. And so this, just such pretty leaves, the middle that you can stamp, some stems, and then some great sentiments. I've used the thanks so much on a couple of cards. I'm going to use the hello tonight, but just really love this. So this is available in my online store. It's won't be in a catalog. New way Stampin' Up's doing things. All right, so I have got Blackberry Bliss. So this is my, one part of it, Blackberry Bliss card base. And after my episode last week where I made a card that the base was the wrong size, I'm going to measure that. So, okay, so it's 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to score it at 4.25. I haven't used Blackberry Bliss for a while. I kind of on a mission to use some of the colors that I haven't pulled out in a little while. And Blackberry Bliss is one of my favorites. It's just so pretty. Now, I have a real problem with the Blackberry Bliss ink. It seems that whenever I use it, I end up with it all over my fingers. There's some ink pads that are like that. What's the other one that Misty Moonlight was one when we had it. And also Pacific Point always seems to be all over my fingers. All right, so there's my card base. This is Smoky Slate, and I've already gone ahead and embossed this using the Fern embossing folder. I don't know, thought that Blackberry Bliss and Smoky Slate, and then some greens. I'm going to punch this up with some greens. Let's see how this goes. Okay, there we go. So I just love this Fern embossing folder, and it's just a perfect kind of fit. Okay, so we got our card base started. Now I've got a piece of the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. I'm going to get my silicone mat's looking really sad here. All right, so let's use the silicone mat just to see if we can protect. So I've pulled out some different greens. I've got Old Olive, Pear Pizzazz, Granny Apple Green, and Mossy Meadow. Thought that, maybe we'll see how it goes. And I've got my large, this is the large leaf that you can actually punch out. So my thought is I'm just going to kind of do some random leaves on the thing. So maybe 3 leaves. And I'm going to try and do them all in different colors, and maybe we'll do in different techniques. So with this kind of, what I call abstract watercoloring, so I'm not stamping the image to color it with my watercolor pencils, or I'm not going to color it with my aqua painter. Hey, Darlene, welcome. What I'm going to do is, let's do for the first one, before I wet my paper, I am going to ink this up Well, let's be brave. Let's go dark. No, let's do light first, because that way I can probably get away with not having to pull out my Stampin' Scrub right away. All right, so I'm going to ink this up with Pear Pizzazz. And then I'm going to take my spritzer that I filled with water and spritz. And now, of course, I've got green ink on this already, so let's now press down on the watercolor paper. You could probably do this on shimmery white. I'm not sure I'd want to do this on using just plain basic white, but you could. I'm just going to grab a baby wipe here. Because I want to clean this off without having to grab my Stampin' Scrub. All right, so that's kind of what you get when you ink up your stamp and then spritz. So now let's do Old Olive. So now I'm going to spritz the paper, but I'm going to do it over this side so I don't kind of do it. So I'm kind of, that's got a fair amount. Let's daub some a little bit, so I don't want it all that wet. And now I'm going to ink this up using Old Olive. You will notice that this kind of probably will run some. At least that's, so it's not quite as, a nice stamped image, which is okay. I'm actually okay with that. Now let's try the same. Oops, with putting your finger into your ink pad. This is Mossy Meadow. Oops, let's get the whole, and we'll do the same. Oh, that's quite pretty. But because the water is on the paper, you will see it bleeds. Whereas this one, when I inked up my stamp and then stamped and then spritzed it, you don't get the bleeding. So depending on what you like as far as kind of the look, you may want to do one or the other. Now I'm going to punch these out so it's not quite such a huge problem. But first, before I punch them out, I'm going to kind of dry it off using my heat tool, because I want to stamp over this with that black veining, and I don't want that to run. I'm going to use Tuxedo Black Memento. All right, so here's the Tuxedo Black, and here's that, kind of looks like an upside down Christmas tree. All right, let's do this one first because we stamped it first. So I'm just going to put this black in the middle. There we go. All right, so we've got the veining in the middle. Now you could probably do that if you wanted to have that watercolored as well, but I'm just gonna like the more kind of defined look of that veining. All right, we're gonna punch this out. Ooh. This is watercolor paper, so it's thicker. My left hand kind of went, oh, not sure I want to do that. All right, let's cut some of this off, so I'm not fighting with the paper. So I'm going to punch out this, and you're going to get rid of a lot of that bleeding area, or bled area, maybe. All right, so there's my watercoloring. Just some kind of pretty colors. Let's see. I'm kind of predictable when it comes to these leaves. I don't know, maybe I have to branch out a little bit, but I think I'm just going to kind of do a little thing of leaves in the corner. That's sticky. All right, well, let's stamp my sentiment. I'm going to stamp it in Blackberry Bliss. Darn dimensional backing. They're all over the place. There we go. And of course, I'm going to fussy cut this. So when you've got, sometimes I get a really small piece of paper and like this, but a bigger piece of paper helps you kind of do that steering with the hand that's holding the paper. Non-scissor hand. So maybe that's another trick if you're wanting to kind of get some practice fussy cutting. Start with a bigger piece of paper. There we go. All right. So I pulled out a few sentiments here, and of course I pulled out this amazing. This is also part of the online exclusives. This is the 1/8 inch ribbon. Comes in silver and gold, and because I just absolutely love this gold, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go through like 2 rows of gold to every one of the silver, just because I love the gold. All right, I'm going to just kind of fold that into, I don't know, that's probably 3 or 4 inches times 3, kind of folded back and forth on each other. And then we'll just take some Stampin' Seal and put there to hold that in place. Like, okay, let's get this going the right way. There we go. So hold that in place like that. And then I'm hoping this is dry enough that the dimensionals will hold this. Sometimes if your watercolor paper, you've soaked it too much, the dimensionals don't stick real well, but I don't think I soaked a long ways through. Okay, so I think I want the dark one at the back. Like that. And then the next one. And then this one kind of over top. There we go. And then we'll put that one on. Now let's use some mini dimensionals for this one. And we'll just put that there. Now, because I love the gold, I pulled out, these are the gold faceted adhesive backed sequins, and they are part of the Delicate Desert suite. They come in 4 shapes, well, 3 shapes, but 4 sizes. So they've got the teardrop ones. That's hard to see. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Teardrop, sequence, smaller sequence, and then crescent moon ones. Hey, Mern. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to use these teardrop ones just because I think, well, actually, let's use one of each of the, there we go. Oh, I love that gold. Oh my gosh. Yeah, got to buy some more of that ribbon because that's going to be gone. I'm going to use it. I know it. All right, I've got a piece, I think, yeah, so there's a piece of basic white that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this in Pear Pizzazz. Clean off this. There we go. And put that veining. I don't know, that's kind of almost my favorite part. I don't know why. I love that veining so much, but it just really defines the leaf. And Nancy, I think I have the name right. It's Mosteria, right? Nancy's daughter knows the name of this. So I have a question for your daughter, Nancy. Is that the same as a philodendron? I had therapy on my hand yesterday, and the office, the treatment room where I was, had a huge philodendron that had leaves that are very similar. And then I wondered if Mosteria was another name for philodendron, or Monstera. Okay, Monstera. Yeah, okay. So is that the same as a philodendron, or have I got the, 2 different probably 2 completely different plants? And I don't know. I'm not a plant person, but there we go. That is my version of watercolor for the leaves, smoky slate for the first layer, and then blackberry blist for the card base. So I hope you'll check out these online exclusives. This particular one definitely is my favorite. Okay, thanks, Nancy. You can let me know. But the leaves are very similar. So that's kind of what got me thinking, is maybe they were the same. Although I think these are holes, and I don't think the philodendron has holes in the leaves. So, all right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Now, Saturday I will be live. Yes, Saturday I will be live. I'm going to the theater, and my girlfriend from Victoria is coming up to go to the theater with me, and then we're going out for dinner afterwards because it's her birthday on Friday. So I will not have Stampin' Chat on Saturday night, but I will be live on Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific, and then Sunday at 12 noon. So hopefully you'll join me then. Thank you, Darlene. Thumbs up. Yes, if you'd love to give me a thumbs up on my YouTube video, I would love that. Also, if you feel like sharing out of my Facebook page or sharing my video, I would love for that to happen. I'd love for my YouTube channel to grow. So get your friends to sign up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd love for that to happen. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye.